you guys. Wasn't planning on making another video today, but I ended up not going to jits because my wrist is kind of like messed up a little bit, along with my thumb. I've been working with this moving company and all that kind of stuff, so you can imagine like any kind of small sprain that you would get in jits gets amplified when you're lifting a 100-pound couch constantly, like all day. So who would have known? Anyways, I wanted to make this video today because a lot of you guys reach out and ask me questions about like FZD and stuff like that, and I just figured I'd make a video that way you guys, not only do you guys not feel like you have to reach out and ask me 20 questions and feel bad about it, but then I also don't have to, answer those 20 questions and feel bad about it. No, I'm joking. It's completely fine. I don't mind, but yeah, so I'll just get into the questions real quick. Hopefully it's a short video and just straight to the point. So a lot of people ask, and this is based off of like literally the 5 questions that this person ended up asking me. Like, I was like, okay, I'll just make a video on this. That way, if anyone has a question that's literally this, I don't know what else someone could ask regarding FZD, and it not be inside these like 5 questions. Or 6, because there was another person that asked about something that was pretty similar, so I'll just answer that at the same time. I got them like on my pure ref. So yeah, I'm not trying to show my screen right now. There's nothing I'm like forgetting to show. So for those of you guys who are probably wondering, this is just for me, so I know like what questions to answer. So the first question is did you have any art classes before attending FZD? Before FZD, I was in community college for about I was in community college for about 4 years, and the way this played out was because some semesters I would be part time, and then other times I was full time. I started going mostly part time when like things got stressful at the house and like I had to take more care of my grandma, and like there was less help with that. So like I just, yeah, I think it was so long ago though, but yeah, it was some mix of that. And then like in the summer, I would usually just try to find a job and like work that. It never occurred to me at that time that I could have a part-time job, I don't think, and then just do college at the same time. I was just like a solo focused, like one thing at a time kind of person at the time, but now I obviously know like things can work out. So yeah, I was in community college under the major what the hell is it called? Digital multimedia design. That was the major. And literally the only art class I took within that was something like, it was just general art. Like we just sit, like you were supposed to buy a bunch of supplies. Most of them you would never use, like, but depending on the artist, I guess. But most of that shit I did not use. Like it was, we just had a bunch of still drawing classes and like classes where you would just draw with your feelings and shit like that. Not really. I didn't really remember learning anything that was significant at all. Like I guess it just got me more, or it got me less intimidated by the thought of like starting on a blank sheet of paper, I guess, because you have an assignment due, so you gotta start it. But yeah, it was literally just like, say they would have like this stuff right here. Just imagine it's like a still life, and they just be like, yeah, just draw this with charcoal, or like draw it with what's the other charcoal thing? Graphite. Like we'd have these like square chalk like graphite things that you draw with, and yeah, that was pretty much the assignments there. And then I remember like there was like a bunch of squares, and you would just increase the density of a texture, like cross hatching, and just have like a bar going from like 0 cross hatching to like basically black, and it's just, I guess that's teaching you how to control texture or something. I don't know. Seriously, the structure in those classes were just kind of just vague. I mean, I don't remember learning, like, if you're trying to get into concept art or anything, would I recommend going to community? I wouldn't even recommend going to a university if I'm being honest. Like that shit's just not. Because it's like the first off, colleges don't hire like okay the person that you would want to ideally learn from, right, is going to be someone who's experienced working in the industry recently like not like 50 years ago or something back when they were like animating on papers only or something, you know. You want someone who's kind of been through the industry. They know some like tools and tricks to teach you that can help you on, you know, on your journey. Colleges don't seem to do that. It's usually just like, you know, someone who likes art that's just happening to be teaching an art class. Like I remember when I was in community college, I wanted to transfer into university and take game art, like this major for game art. And I just remember, like I said, like in previous videos, like the biggest thing for me at that time was just seeing what the students were coming out with. If I didn't see like a decent amount of portfolios and then see a nice, like a generally like nice average in quality between them, like I just wrote that off. Like I was like, all right, I'm not fucking with that. Like, so what was I about to say? Yeah, most of these colleges, man, like they'll sure they'll introduce you to these things, but I don't feel like they really teach you anything that you couldn't learn from a YouTube video in terms of like technical ability or understanding. Like you could probably just get like you could literally look up like a blender tutorial or do the donut thing by that one guy and learn probably more than you would in a whole semester of college. Like I'm not even joking. My monitor went off. Like it's just stuff like that just, and then you look at the price, like the price that you're paying at that college. You could probably just get mentorships from artists that you actually really like, and you definitely come out with a better 100%, because you have to think about it, right? Like I think most people who are I don't know, man, I don't want to spend too much time like rambling or whatever like on this one question, but like it's just something that's really important. You don't want like outdated or someone who's like not like I don't know, like a casual artist to be teaching a profession. I don't know how else to like pit it. It's like most people who are successful concept artists aren't gonna want to teach at like some random college. I mean, and that's not to like, hey, there's exceptions. There's obviously exceptions. I'm not saying like I know everything. I'm not trying to be like I care about you guys. I don't want you guys to go and pay like, you know, $30K or something and then graduate with like a YouTube tutorial portfolio. I don't know. Like it's seriously. This is exactly what I would like if my little brother came up to me today and he told me like, hey, I want to do that thing that you're doing. I would tell him, do not fucking go to school for it. Like, or not, don't go to college for it. I would look into things like Brainstorm or like Learn Squared or yeah. But there is one thing that you would get. I mean, if I had to say like a positive thing about college, you're gonna chances are you're probably gonna meet a lot of people you'll know for a long time, lifelong friends type. You know, you're already interested in the same things. So that's just an icebreaker, like a natural icebreaker right there, right? You're gonna meet a bunch of people who are into the same thing, and it's like impossible not to just become friends at that point, unless they're just really just an AI robot, fucking NPC or something. You know, I don't know. What else? So, did you take any art classes before FZD? Outside of that, no. Like I said, I had that one generic general art class, and then I had another one called computer art, which was basically a history class on computer art, pretty much. Again, something that you could probably find a nice 30-minute video on YouTube and literally learn everything that I learned in that class. Like, I don't remember anything. I just remember them talking about like pixel art and like not even pixel art, like like the first games that came out and like what technology they used to make them, not exactly like the art and design and all that kind of stuff that went into it, you know what I mean? Or the culture around the culture around that profession at the time. You know, you don't, like I said, it's so generic. Like I don't know, man. I wish there was like, you know that I don't know. You know that feeling when you're like in school, like as a kid, and you have that math book that you have to bring home to do homework, right? And you look in there and you're reading it, and you're like, how does any of this apply to real life? That's how those classes felt. It's like, how does any of this apply to like doing what I want to do, which was concept artist? It's like I had one class, dude, where we had to make a on like I wouldn't say an A3 size paper, but like it was a pretty big sheet of paper, and it was like kind of thick, and like you would no it wasn't. We had to print them out, I think. No, we didn't. Oh man, my FZD memories are blending somehow with. Okay, no, so it was a digital thing that we would do in Photoshop. And I guess you could argue that I got a lot more familiar with Photoshop because of those projects, I guess. I mean, if you had to choose the most, like, cherry-picking fucking excuse to go to, like, college or something, dude, I guess that's one of the good things that came out of it. I mean, even the people that I was there with, like, I didn't really... None of them were even art majors. Like, they weren't even into art. Like, there was this one Asian chick, dude. This chick was the best at graphic, like graphite drawing with still lifes in that whole class, dude. She was cracked out of her mind. And we're like, yo, what's your major? Like, what do you do? And she's like, oh, my major's math. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, yo, what? Like it's just, I don't know. Most people weren't even, for most people, like, these classes were essentially just electives, you know, like something to just get credits, easy credits. So yeah, it was just, there was that. But like most of the people I even met when I was in that community college, and it's of course going to be different across every single fucking school. This isn't going to apply one-to-one to every school that exists. I'm just saying, with the school I went to, it was most of the people there, like I said, were not math or were not like into design or art at all. Like, they're just passing through, you know what I mean? I never really experienced like college, like art or whatever. I'm sure there's some good colleges out there, but like if you're gonna go that route, make sure that they have a healthy amount of portfolios posted online. And then on top of that, make sure that they like follow up with the students, like look at their Instagrams and like see like where they are. Like, are they still working? Are they still working towards the industry? Blah 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 blah. Because with art being such a visual thing, this is something that a school should be trying to show off as much as they can to bring in the new set of students. Like, that's how FZD got me. That's how FZD got everybody else. It's like, holy shit, like if I go there, I could have a portfolio that looks like this. I'll be decent. I'm a cook. Like, I don't know. It's like, so if you go to a school that doesn't have that amount of, a decent amount of, you know, student work, you know, their professors, this might be a little harder though, because there are resources like Rate My Professor that you could probably use to see like which art teachers are the best or whatever, and like see what their names are, look them up, see what their history is this a class worth taking. But yeah, if you're gonna go that route, like I said, just make sure that the signs, like, for the love of God, if there's an absence of student work, that is the biggest red flag for me, man. I mean, you could even argue with like Brainstorm School, they don't really show student work that much. I mean, to be honest, from what I've heard about it, it's like there'll be like 10 people that sign up, and like 8 of those motherfuckers just don't do it. Like, they don't even show up. They just fucking, I don't know. I guess they just watch the other people doing the assignments, or maybe they're fake people. I don't know. Hey, that could be a thing. That could be a thing, man. Like some fucking fake ass, some Black Mirror shit. I've never even watched Black Mirror, but like I this is just some fake shit, some weird shit. Something ain't right. I don't know, but yeah. No, before FZD, I didn't have any art experience though. I just you can literally look at. This is the other thing that kind of pisses me off sometimes. I won't lie, because I've made videos since before I went to FZD, but I can't really expect people to go and watch all of them. So I try to make this video so that they can all come here. But like before I went to FZD, no, I just did random drawings, and I guess that, you know, I would try to study anatomy in my like sketchbooks and draw like the body and stuff like that, and you know, draw some fine motherfuckers. I don't know, like learn anatomy, like try to learn like muscle groups and stuff. You know, I would use. There was this website I used for referencing, like what's it called, man? It was like it would have a reference photo and it would change the photo every X amount of time. Like you could set it to 30 seconds, 15 seconds to do a quick gesture drawing, or you could just switch it over to like 2 minutes, 5-10 minutes, and get something a little bit more refined with that time. I should do that for art. Oh my god, I gotta write that down. Hold on, cause that'd be a good study, man. Just like go to architecture and do like some hold on. I don't remember the name of that website, but yeah, it was pretty good. That's what I used to do. You can literally, I'll make another video sometime in the future, like going over my portfolio and like that I applied to FZD with, and like all the assignments I did at the time, and just cringe my ass off. I've even played with the idea mentally of going back and redesigning. I wish we did like interiors for the portfolio review, or to get into FZD. I wish we did interiors so that I could see like what I was thinking an interior looked like before and after in terms of detail and density and all that stuff, right? But I've played with the ideas of going back and redesigning some of the vehicles and stuff that I designed. I think that'd be really fucking cool. What other knowledge can I drop here? Yeah, I just had sketchbooks, man. I recently went back to my grandma's. Dude, if you're not a man, I mean no offense, by the way. It's just how I fucking talk. I just gotta cover my ass because you never know nowadays. But fuck. Okay. Yeah, I went back to my grandma's house recently to get some of my stuff out of the attic that, you know, I stayed in there with at the time, and I just saw like all my. I actually have them. Oh shit! Yeah, I actually have them in the closet. I'll probably. I don't need to bust that out, bro. You guys can go see like my old videos, bro. I'm not trying to cringe that bad. But yeah, it was just, you know, just drawing random shit. My thing at the time was nights. I loved trying to mix nights with like what's it called? Sci-fi, like making a sci-fi night. I thought that was the sickest shit. I still like doing that, man. I really want to get back to it, but before I do that, I just want to get like a little stable, you know, get a little bit of stability before I go trying to like broaden my horizon with design and art, you know. But yeah, it was just sketchbooks, so just studies. That was all I did. But they were all like for anatomy and shit like that. None of them really translate into environment outside of the fact that it takes discipline to stick to it every day, you know. What else? Okay, so yeah, that's the first question. Did I do any art classes before going to FZD? That should answer that. Okay. So do you feel like it was worth it? Worth going to FZD? Fucking absolutely. I'm not even like joking, man. Like, it was just okay. Man, I'm about to go down a fucking memory lane right now. But was it worth going to FZD? Yes. It was like, there's so many different ways I can answer this question. I'm almost drawing a blank. I'm not gonna lie. Like, it was like it was like I mean, like I said, I did when it came to FZD, and I'll try to answer well, no, I'll go into that later because it's the next little sub question. But going to FZD, like, not only did I learn what I knew, like when I graduated, like pretty much what I know now, I learned in about a year, minus like 2 years of experimentation and all that kind of shit, like freelancing. That stuff I didn't learn at FZD. But the stuff that I did, like, it was just in a year. Like, dude, I don't know how to like. It was now, mind you, it wasn't like they came like we walked in there and some guy had a pointy hat with a fucking wand and just tapped us and like holy shit, like in a year it was so easy. Oh fuck, like no, like we went there, we busted our ass, 18, 20 hours, dude. I swear I probably switched the amount of hours every time, but I shit you not, we were working all day, sleeping like 3 4 hours a night. I swear to God, if I'm lying, God can strike me down right now. But nah, for real, man. Like it was like, dude, it was hard work, man. I've never worked my ass off like that in my life. I seriously, there were so many times during FZD that I thought I was just fucking gonna quit, but like I didn't want to. Like the main thing that was on my mind was just making sure, like I was like, all right, I don't want grandma to feel like I wasted my time here. Like I was just full of shit. I had to prove that to my grandma and I had to prove that to myself. Like it was just one of those things like, dude, come hell or fucking high water, I gotta get through this shit. If I'm not good enough, I have to make myself good enough. Like there's just no way I can't quit. I can't. I like there's nothing else. Like at the time it was like it was like it's either I come back home with a skill that can get me out of where I am now, or or like I don't know, man. I couldn't. There's no way. Like, of course, with the pain and all of the like staying up late nights, in front of me. Of course you want to quit. Sometimes it's like it's fucking crazy hard, dude. Like, but at the same time, it was like, dude, if I do this, I go back home. Not only did I let my grandma down, I let me down. And some most of the times, like 9 times out of 10, when you quit something, you'll kind of relax for a little bit, and then sometimes you'll just think like, man, I could have probably just fucking kept going, man. Like that would have been killer for me if I got on the plane and like I'm getting on the plane and I'm just sitting there for 13 hours like a fucking NPC thinking like how shit I am because I quit, dude. I don't know, man. I would have. I don't know. I don't know. That's a dark place. I can't even imagine, dude. It's seriously just such a man. That's a dark place, bro. I don't know. I don't want to go there, but yeah, it was definitely worth it. Of course, like it's kind of weird being in a position where you don't have, consistent work yet, but I'm still working towards it. I haven't quit. I'm still going at it, and be it a couple hours in a day, 5 8 hours in a day, I'm still going after it. So, and not only that, it's not just like worth it isn't always just what you got out of it. Sometimes it's the people you meet too. Like I met some great, amazing, lifelong friends that like, even though like the people in my class, like with the exception of like a fucking couple people, dude, what a lot of these people, like I could not talk to them for like a year, 2 years. I swear to God, I feel like if I came across them in like Discord or something, it's like I would feel like it like this is still a friend. Like I don't feel like I don't know how to explain it. I don't know what word to use, but like it's like they're just all great people, man. And even though I don't talk to all of them all the time, like it's like if I came across them at a fucking con or like Lightbox or something like that, I'd be fucking like I'd be happy. Like I'd be happy to see these people. Like it's not like I don't know, man. I don't know how to describe it, but yeah, you like going to school with them, going through the whole FZD thing, busting your ass for a year. Like you're gonna have some strong fucking bonds, and that's what happened with me. Is like now it's like I always catch myself thinking about like, well, I wonder what so and so is like up to. I never, of course, granted, like I'm not gonna act like I reach out when I have those thoughts, but like I'm like, oh shit, I hope they're doing all right. But yeah, worth it is a very hard. A lot of you guys asked this fucking question too, but like worth it is just I don't know how to describe like what do you mean by worth it? Like, do you mean in terms of like the money? Like what? Like yeah, fuck yeah, like dude, I don't even remember how much FZD costed, but man, the value that I got at that school versus any college, I could probably point at any college in the States, honestly, and say like, with the exception of maybe Art Center, but like, dude, at that point you're like 500K in debt, bro. Like, is that worth it? Fuck no, I don't think so. I don't think so. Maybe some people do, bro. I don't know about that, man. I every now and then, like, though, I find myself checking in, like, and seeing if anyone's making videos that come from those colleges, you know, and see like what they're up to, and like I'm just like, damn, dude. I don't know. Worth it is a very, it's obviously subjective, but that's also what makes it a bit more like harder to explain. Um, yeah, I guess the third question here is like probably the best way to ask that question, rather or not like was it worth it? Like, I don't know. Financially, was it worth it? Yes. Like that same amount of money would have probably graduated me for like 4 years at a university or something like that, maybe 3 or something. I don't remember the exact amount or the colleges I was looking at and their tuition, but um, yeah, I feel genuinely, because I remember I was gonna go to this other college. It was I'm not gonna name the college because I don't know what the lawsuit shit was. I don't know. Hey, I'm just fucking Buddy Baldhead over here. I'm not trying to get sued, but yeah, I was gonna go to this college, and I went there to their open house, and I was so inspired. I think this was when I was in high school too. So when I was in high school, we're gonna go on another fucking goddamn history lesson here. Back when the dinosaurs were fucking walking around, I went. I was in high school, and I had a. It's gonna sound a little dark for a while, but trust me, it'll come back. Okay, but like I was in high school, I was not the most academically interested person. I'll say that. Like, I was a class clown. I was always getting in trouble, but like if I made someone laugh, hey, fuck it, like it was worth it. So, anyways, like my GPA was something like a 0 point something, dude. Like in high school, and my mom, she never gave up on the vision of me being like, I don't know, like a successful student or something. I don't know. It's mom things, like even if the kid's fucking hideous to the mom and they're beautiful. I don't know how to explain that shit. All right, so yeah, so I had I told my mom like this is the college I want to go to because they have the major that I'd want to work towards, and we went to their open house, and like any other like you know high schooler that's looking to go to college, you see all the campus and stuff like that, and your eyes are like, holy shit, like this is cool, and like they give you the whole like rundown of the college, and like everyone's saying like it's like you know what it feels like, dude. In hindsight, it feels like one of those scenes in the movie where you go like to this place, everyone's fucking happy, everyone's smiling and shit, and it's like, what the fuck, is something's not right here. Like, I don't know, I just got that vibe, like but yeah, it was, you go on campus and you see all the stuff that actually hey, if you guys went and watched some of my old videos, you'd probably see me wearing the hoodie. That's all I'm gonna say. Because I went to the open house and bought a hoodie, and I still have that hoodie in this in this closet too, just for like, I guess memories, I guess. But what was the oh yeah, so like I went to this class, I was gonna go to this school or whatever, and I was thinking like, all right, well, it'd be too expensive to go there, straight out of high school. My GPA shit. Let me go to. Wait, no. Okay, I skipped the whole section. So I went to that college, and like after realizing, okay, this college seems really good, but like, of course, I was like subconsciously suspicious, like because of the no portfolio stuff. And obviously I sat there doing hours of research, like looking at the college, looking at the majors, like trying to look on Reddit, see what other people like thought that went to dude, I was doing all kinds of fucking, dude, I was like a detective. Um, but yeah, my GPA was still like 0.9 or some crazy shit. So I was like, dude, after that, dude, I started like staying after class, like trying to figure out the homework and shit. Like, for some reason, like everything just fucking, all the neurons connected at the same time. I swear to God, it was like I suddenly was like, if I don't do this homework, I'm not gonna get into college, and then I can't be a game artist. I was just like, holy shit. So, like, I was like, okay, well, I started taking things a lot more seriously. But this was so late in the semester. Like, it was in my senior year. I was barely like, I went to night school damn near two times I think in high school. Um, and mind you, when I came in as a freshman too, like I had like some honors classes, and people were just thinking like, how the fuck is this guy here? Like, but yeah. So throughout like my high school, I had like probably like a 2 point something, and then it just gradually went down. But towards the end of my senior year, um, I remember I just started taking classes a little bit more seriously. Got my GPA up to a whopping 1.2. I only passed because some of my teachers just happened to like me, and they just wanted to see me. They saw me try to turn the ship around. It was just just too late. You know what I mean? And they saw me. They saw that's like fucking 180 though, cause like I'd never, like I'd not have the homework. I didn't even attempt to do it. But then they started seeing like, all right, he actually attempted the whole sheet. Like he didn't know shit, but like he tried to do the like. So it was my French teacher, Mrs. Anderson. I remember. But like she like turned like she's like, all right. She gave me a little extra credit. Let's just say that like I'd stay after class, help clean the like fucking rooms and stuff for like my community service hours, and I get like a couple points here and there like from that, and like next thing you know, fucking I'm graduating. So I graduate, and then I started looking at this college, but I knew I couldn't go there because my GPA was obviously like 1.2 or something. Like who would take that student? So I was like, okay, it would be smarter. I would also save money, and they're the same exact classes. Like I watched a bunch of YouTube videos about like gen eds and like why people need to go to community college rather than go into the actual college like that they want to go to, because it saves so much money for the same fucking classes. So I was like, okay, that makes a lot of sense. So that's what I'm gonna do. So I went to community college, and like right before I transferred, after like 2 years, me and my little brother like went. I don't know why, but me and my little brother were both downtown at the time, and I was going to go talk to the transfer person or whatever at the college, and they were telling me like all this stuff about like you have to take history classes on Chicago and the history of like LGBTQ, and like no offense, dude, but like I was like, yo, do I gotta pay for that? They're like, yeah. I'm like, what the fuck, like for real? Like I don't know. Hey, I don't know, but I was just like, yeah, fuck that. Like I was just like, dude, that's like $2,000. Like why would I don't give like I'm gonna fail these classes, dude. Like I don't give a fuck about Chicago, man. I was like, dude, I don't need to know all this shit. I could watch a YouTube video and get all that. Like, yeah, and then they had an open house, again. So like I went to the game art, section of the open house, and like their little building, and they had a bunch of students in there working on like little indie games and stuff. I would say around the quality of maybe like quality wise, right? No shade. I swear to God, no shade to the students. Like I'm sure they're all busting their asses, but it really just comes down to the teacher and the curriculum, dude. There's nothing you can do. Like if you're a student and you're busting your ass, like if you're getting a shitty curriculum with an unqualified teacher, bro, you're fucked, man. I don't know. Like that's why you have to check these things, man. Like it's not really the fault of the student, but like at the same time, you got to do your research before you commit to things like that. Dude, it's like trying to fucking cook underwater or something. Like I don't know, man. But yeah, the quality that I was seeing was like it was like a bunch of game jams. You know what I mean? Not to say like you're supposed to do some fully polished thing in school or anything like that. But like I was just, and then I saw the work, and I was like, shit. Like, and I asked the teacher. I remembered. I was like, how much time do you usually put in like per week? Like, how much time do you like tell students to pit into it? And he's just like, as long as it takes, man, as long as it takes. And I'm just like, what the fuck? What the fuck does that mean, dude? Like as long as it, I don't know, like as long as it takes for what, brother? Like I was just thinking like, what the hell? But yeah, it was that kind of knocked the school down a peg for me, or a level or whatever. So I was like, all right, well, probably not. Yeah, definitely not going to this fucking school. So that's when I started looking on like to online, like where could I see in LA. Um, and this all ties into the financial part of it. But I was looking to Brainstorm School around this time. Uh, I was thinking about going to Brainstorm School and living out of like an Airbnb or something for like a year while I took all the classes or something. Probably not the best idea, but that was one of the options I had at the time. And then I was looking at a couple of colleges down in again LA, and then I saw FZD, and I was like, I already watched videos on FZD before because of Feng Zhu's design cinema. So I was like playing with the idea, and my grandma made it happen, dude. She was gonna. I think she was secretly planning on helping me pay for my college. I don't come from a family of uh, I think she just wanted me to go to school, man. And I think secretly she was planning on paying for a part of my college, but like once I said I was gonna go to this foreign school, like, or that I kind of wanted to, but I knew it wasn't a possibility. She asked me for more information, and I was like, hey yo, like I started getting a little suspicious. I was like, dude, why is she asking so many questions? And like, thank God I did enough research that I could answer them. Like based on the research I did on like the community college, the universities that here are here. um, yeah. So she made it happen, dude. And next thing COVID hits, so you're doing all that research, blah 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 blah, and then next thing you know, I'm pretty much on the plane to Singapore, man. I don't want to. Damn, this video's already 36 minutes, bro. What are the benefits? So, what do you feel like the benefits and disadvantage of the school were? Benefits, obviously, you get a 1 year program that's damn near guaranteed to get you to a certain level. That's actually like pretty good. If you follow that curriculum and you do the work that you're like I said, the curriculum and the teacher. If you follow those instructions with that teacher and their feedback, like, and you put in the work they say you need to put in, your ass is gonna be decent. You're gonna be decent. That, at least at the minimum, you're gonna have a very strong foundation. And I was just like, all right, like that, I can work with that, because from that point on, like I can just keep building on it myself. Um, and yeah, that was one of the biggest things. Another big thing, I guess, was, um, I mean, one of the benefits. Okay, so I'm thinking also in hindsight and also before. I mean, like I said before, like lifelong friends, man. Just it's great. It's great, man. We've all been through the same thing, and we know how that shit felt. And every now and then we just like we like, I don't know if reminisce is the right word, but like we just think about all those shitty nights that we all had and just like laugh at it now. 'Cause it was so bad in the moment, but like in hindsight, it's like, holy shit, that sucked, man. That shit sucked. Like just staying up, not like doing the work, but like just the toll that it put on your body, which is something I would definitely list as a disadvantage. If you're looking at schools like any school that's like a 1 year program, that I mean, I know Mages is out right now. I'll talk about that in a little bit, but like actually, yeah, Mages, my teacher Kingston, he's actually teaching there. But the whole thing, the upside of a 1 year thing is that you can get pretty good in 1 year, but the downside is also that you're busting your fucking ass off for a year. Like that's the cost. It's not gonna be just that money that you dish out. It's also gonna be like literally every day. You're from the time you wake up, you make something quick to eat, and you get right on it, dude. Like there's nothing in between. Seriously. The only time I remember like getting kind of a break, like a breath, is like the time I spent walking to like Fair Price or a hawker center in Singapore. That was it. Like, and then like while I'm eating there and shopping around and stuff. What other disadvantages? I mean, that's honestly it. If you really want to list a disadvantage, like if I had to be completely unbiased, it would probably also be that you're obviously not guaranteed a job. I mean, I'm evidence of that shit, but like across any school though, like you're not guaranteed work when you get out, right? So that's something. It's not necessarily. It's more of a neutral, if anything, but it's definitely something worth thinking about. Like if you're going to school, Just know, like, when you graduate, you probably won't get like the gig of your dreams out of graduation. You know, there are some people who end up doing that, but or getting that opportunity. Um, but you just have to have a game plan for after that. Seriously, like, you need to know what steps you want to take until you have that thing achieved. I don't know what else to say though. How hard was it getting a loan? What were your rough estimates of the total expenses? Like I said, my grandma, she paid for me to go, and like before, I remember before I actually went, dude. The last job I remember working, just to paint a picture of how shit like my situation was. So not only was I trying to deal with like taking care of my grandma and stuff like that at the time, but I was also in the in between time. Like, the neighborhood that I lived in was actually fucking like, I wouldn't say it was O Block, but that shit was not ideal, man. Like, the last store I worked at was in the same neighborhood, and I'd ride my bike to go there. And I shit you guys not, every single time, um, when I was working there, like, it just wasn't safe, man. That store that I worked at got robbed 3 times, and all the 3 times I was there, and it was at gunpoint. So you can just use your imagination to just, connect the dots. You know what I mean? So, like, the situation in the house was almost no better than it was outside of it. Like, I was seriously in a pretty dark place at that time, and I don't talk about it too much out of respect for like my family, um, and their privacy and all that kind of stuff. I'm not gonna go, spreading like it's like, I'm not gonna do that. Not in a YouTube video, man. But yeah, it was so like, yeah. I guess I'm not really answering this question, but like, my grandma doing that, like, there was a light at the end of the tunnel, man. And I think that's why, like, when I was in FZD, uh, and this is gonna, you know what, this is gonna bring me into my next question, right? When I was, is there anything that you wish you did differently, and if you were to do it again, right? Um, because I came from that situation when I went to Singapore to like study, I was so fucking locked in on studying that I didn't even really enjoy the city, if that makes any sense. I was so caught up in trying to make sure that I didn't waste my grandmother's money. I didn't waste my time. I just wanted to make sure that she knew that I was taking it seriously, and I had to accept that burden of responsibility that I now had. Don't get me wrong; it was 100% a privilege, and I'm 100% privileged for having that opportunity. You know what I mean? But leading up to that point, that was not something that I remotely saw. Like, I kind of, in a way, I saw college as an escape. Like, usually sometimes people get pulled into, gangs, and I was very close around, like, in proximity around a lot of people like that at times. But uh, it was, thank God, the thing that drew my attention was getting out of that place and not learning how to flourish in it. How to, like, not changing myself for the worse to be able to be in that place, and to survive in it and thrive in that area. You know what I mean? Instead, I was like, let me better myself so I can get out of the area, not worsen myself so I can stay in it and not lose my mind. Yeah, I had to constantly be thinking long term, like, and I think that's something that's carried on to this day. Like, I had to think in the future, live in the future. I couldn't, because the present was just so shit. Like, and an example of worsening yourself to be able to thrive in that situation is shortening your time span. Like, you're not thinking about the next week, so you're only thinking about what can make you feel better now. And a lot of the things that can make you feel better now obviously aren't fucking good for you. So, but yeah, that's just the picture that I had in my mind, like, when I went to FCD. So when I was over there, I was strictly studying. I wasn't doing anything for fun, really. Of course, there were some exceptions where I did, like, go out with my roommates, but you can ask anyone who was a roommate with me. Like, I just did not want to leave my room. It took a lot of fucking convincing when I did. So yeah. So I would say something that I wish I did a little bit. because I don't regret that. You know, I don't regret putting that time in and being so focused on my assignments, because I know what kind of person I am. Once I start to slip a little bit, I fucking slip, dude. Like, I'll probably get lazy or something, you know. So I made sure, like, it could be TMI, dude, but like at points, like I made sure that I wouldn't oversleep to the point where I'd drink like, I don't know, I drink like some water before I went to sleep, so that my body would naturally wake me up to go to the restroom. I'd go to the restroom and then just go straight to my laptop, like regardless of how tired I was. Um, I was just like, dude, I'm not gonna let that shit happen. Like, I'm not oversleeping. I don't think I overslept not one time that whole year, which is crazy to think. Like, I wasn't late not one time. I wasn't, like, that was it. I was probably late a couple times, but um, in my mind, like, I was just like, dude, if I fail this, like, I have to go back to that place, and I don't have a way to get out. Like, in my mind, I was like, there's like no real way for me to get out of that. So like closer to graduation, I did start to go out more, but like I still had that. Like, even when we graduated, when we got term to term, I'm constantly thinking like, dude, am I good enough to be able to get a job after this yet? No, I'm not. So I like, everyone's like laughing and like said celebrating, you know. Oh wait, welcome to term two, dude. I was fucking losing my mind. I was probably stone faced at the time, but dude, I was like, fuck, dude. I have to go back to that neighborhood, man. Like, I have to go back to that. After experiencing this, it's gonna be so much worse too. Like, because you obviously get, you know, when you're in an area like that, you get desensitized to how bad that spot can be. So, um, when I left, like, I knew, like, it was like my eyes were open. It was like, holy fuck, that was such a shitty situation, man. Um, I don't want to go back to that, and that costed me pretty much any kind of celebration for any achievements I had. You know, any kind of rest, like in exploring Singapore. That's why I kind of joke around with my friends sometimes and say, like, part of my soul is still over there, man, because I did not, like, I didn't go out. I didn't really look at through all the malls and just walk around for fun. You know, I didn't do any touristy things. And but would I change it? No. It's not something that I regret, because it's what pushed me to like to just, I don't know, graduate as best as I could be. Even though I was talking to my friend Satchit and Evan about this and Jerome. We were all talking about this a few times, but like, it was like when I was in FZD, like, if I didn't understand something the first time it was said, I would just try to brute force it. Like, even like, there were some times where I could have probably asked more questions and, like, you know, tried to like think through things, but I was so tired. Like, dude, in my mind, I was so tired of just, like, in general, we're all just so tired. I just couldn't imagine trying to think through something. Like, I was just like, dude, I'm just gonna brute force this shit. And I just kept throwing the rock at the wall, man, until a hole is, like, until something broke through, you know? Not realizing there was probably a couple hammers in the room, if that makes sense. Um, so yeah, I guess that's one thing that I would have probably done a little differently. Um, and then another one was regarding like how many people I lived with. I would definitely say, like, because this person was also like a different person was asking me like, how many people did you live with? What were you paying for rent, etc. If you're going anywhere for a school, I would highly. I mean, FZD, I got lucky because they made a group chat for everyone who was coming that semester, or that term, right? So we all got to like talk to each other and connect and try to like get roommates. And honestly, like, if there's any kind of equivalent you can find for that, even if it's for other students, preferably students that are doing the same thing as you, though, I wouldn't risk it enough to be like, go there the first day and be living out of a hotel until you find someone that also doesn't have a place to stay yet. But if you can, I don't know how that works with like colleges and stuff, but yeah, if it's an option, definitely try to find a way to live with other students though. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. Yeah, just try to live close, dude. Try to live close. It's gonna save you so much time. Think of like a commute that you would have for work or a job, right? You're going to be spending 30 extra minutes versus, 30 extra minutes a week, like every day of the week, right? Getting to school. That's after 5 days. That's what, 4.5 hours? Or no? Fucking what the hell? I think 2.5. Yeah, 2.5 hours or something. Yeah, 2.5 hours. That's 2.5 hours that you just spend like commuting versus like 10 minutes a day, and then it's 50 minutes. It's just like that. Those kinds of things are like what you need to be considering if you're gonna be busting your ass for a year, like, because that 2 hours could be the difference. Over 80 something weeks, that's 160 hours or something that you were just on the train. I had some friends that were in that situation, and they had to bust their ass to make the difference. I'll tell you that much. Just shout out Evan. That motherfucker, he was on a train, I think like an hour every day, there and back. I don't know how that guy popped off, but he did. Yeah. Same with, well, not so much with Satchit though. He was just right around the corner. Fucking dipshit. Anyways, yeah, I hope this answers some of you guys' questions, and hopefully this saves people the time of asking anything else that I just answered. But yeah, if any of you guys have any questions, just leave them below, and I'll make a video on them if I get enough. So yeah, peace.